closer.
How y'all doing? Okay, I'm fixing my microphone. Wait a minute.
Live.
It's still.
Oh, people! There's people. Hi.
Well, I'll just turn it all the way up. How about that? Does that work? Or did that work?
I think so. Maybe.
Let me do this. I'll unplug it and plug it back in.
Oh.
Or hit it with a wrench like we fixed our TVs back in the day.
We used to put aluminum foil on the rabbit's ears to fix them.
Yeah, I remember that.
or we found like if a human held one of the rabbit ears, it would come in clearer. So I was the youngest. So I got volunteered all the time to stand there and hold the rabbit ear and watch TV.
Yeah. And I was the youngest and had to go up on the roof, on the tin roof, and fiddle fart around, like that.
When you had to manually turn the antennas.
Yeah. But I can remember we didn't get a television straight away. Most in our community didn't. And the electrical shop had this television. And we'd all go down in our little jammies and our dressing gowns and sit on the pavement and watch the Flintstones or something. I don't know. There's a bit of history.
Outside your neighbor's houses looking in the window.
Our first TV had no knobs, and we had to turn the thing with the fork. And if you lost the pliers, you had to turn it with the fork.
You had it. And getting up to change the channel. That was.
Yeah.
I remember.
You can just talk to the TV and it'll change.
I remember our first TV. It looked like a big, huge piece of furniture. That was
huge.
Player. Like the ones where you would put the record player, because there was a portion where you would lift the top. And there was a record player in there, but then on the other end, there was like a TV.
In stereophonic record player.
Thank you, Joanne. Okay, so we did I'm still fooling with these microphones. If y'all can't hear me, just let me know. We did a fundraiser today for Feeding America, and it was up to $4,500 the last we checked. So thank you very much to everybody. Thank you to Linda G for joining us as well. And thank you to the moderators who were there to moderate.
And the donate button's still active. If anybody hasn't seen it, go watch and donate. Thank you.
And I will also say that these are done out of the goodness of people's hearts and things of that nature. So therefore, a public service announcement to our fellow YouTubers that charity is not a competition. So I don't think it is appropriate to bounce from chat to chat and say, hey, donate to mine instead. I think that's a little gross, if you ask me. So
it's pretty ugly.
If you could not be an asshole, that would be great.
Awesome. I think that's a really good guideline.
Try not to be an asshole. I'm gonna have that on a t-shirt one day.
And for those that are, perhaps struggling financially and can't donate, that's okay too. That's, there's no obligation. It's totally okay.
Give us a thumbs up. That's all the contribution you need to do. Thank you, Cold Toes.
Because that helps too, because that pushes our stream out there. The more interaction you give, the more chats you do, the more thumbs up, that pushes the stream out there, more people see it. So that still helps. And tonight we will end with the giving away of the Morgan Greer Tarots. I'm going to use it tonight just in case you want to see what it look like. This one's brand new. This one.
Nice.
We'll do that tonight. Okay. Hopefully my microphone's fine. You want this shirt, Lori?
Lena was
very nice. Sorry.
Lena was calling out that it's leopard print night because she and Becca have leopard print on. But I have to point out, I do have on leopard print.
So we're the Leopard sisters, and here with Johnny.
Yeah.
We have to get Johnny a leopard print shirt or something.
But see, here's the thing. By the time I get
glasses.
Everybody will be in switch.
Leopard glasses. Those ones with wings.
There are some leopard print glasses I could get. Thank you, Sylvia. These don't have it though. These got something else. The world just disappeared, so I'll put them back on though. I don't have a leopard print, Terry.
Oh, your life's not complete.
With patterns. I'm the odd man out. So that'll be all right though. Okay, so our first question. Now I'm gonna go down the list so we may jump around a little bit here. Actually, let me start with this one since it's on a whole different page and I can cross it out. DeSatan and Abbott, Hot Wheels, if you will. The guy in Mississippi, the guy in Tennessee, all of these people who have very questionable ethics, who have the black soul and the black heart. Are they going to have the Trumpian effect to where so many people are going to rally against them and vote them out? Because Trump, when he cheated to get in, he should have been a shoo-in because he cheated again to try to stay in. But the numbers were too big to fail type of thing. So will that happen to people like DeSatan and Abbott?
And everybody Trump endorsed did not get elected. So
yeah. Speaking of Mississippi, the governor, what's his name, Tate Reeves or something, today announced the reason people in the South are so fearless about COVID is because they believe in eternal life, right? So you don't have to worry. Now, that might have been effective messaging in 1365 or something against the plague, but this is now.
And Ida coming in on let's see how long your eternal life is going to, when it's starting.
My problem is with that is eternal life happens after you die.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So
the question is talking about all of them together sort of thing.
Yes, it's will they have the same effect as Trump?
I think because of that comment the Mississippi governor made is why Republican Jesus is trending on Twitter right now.
Oh, what is happening? Will they have the same effect as Trump?
Becca, what you got?
I get because there's a lot of sudden painful suffering that people are going through right now, and then there's the many here. So like the masses of people perhaps will turn out to eject these people out because of the pain and suffering that they're causing. So
Lena, what you get?
Well, the same message, I think, in a way. This is the lover's card, meaning they're going, they're in deep Trump land and trying to copy Trump, but then they can't pull it off. And once it starts quick, the thing with the Chariot is it's moving on after adversity. So it's not happening quite yet, but will happen. And I think they'll be slammed down the track. Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the clear thinking, a big yes on it. And, normally the death card is not death for me. Normally it's change, and bringing something new.
Yeah. However,
death and the devil, it's like, I think in this case, it is death in those states, and everybody's turning their back on them, looking for a new boss. And it's the end of all this corporate hogwash too for them. Bringing in someone new in those states, I think, this is a figurative death for these governors, and there's a big yes card on it.
Yeah.
I get first card judgment, something from the past coming back up again, and then there's the Knight of Cups. So here's that good time feeling that all of the supporters of the sane people in this country decided to band together, Republican and Democrat, because all Democrats didn't vote for Biden. There were some Republicans too, and there were some Republicans who just went plain old independent, which cost Trump too. So the numbers ever too big to fail. So that Knight of Cups sort of rushes in with the good or better time. High Priestess and the Magician with the Ace of Wands. We have A different power that's coming in. This is not right away, but I do get that Ace of Wands as well. We will take up a new action. There will be some people who have a rough, painful transition with the Six of Swords because they were supposed to be shoe-ins, but now they're going to be shoe-outs, I suppose. it's. I got
just before we leave that topic, I was on with Sheila from Celtic Tarot during the week, and I think she made a really interesting point. She was saying people will resist vaccinations and stuff now, and there's no vaccination for kids yet, so it's easy to say no when it doesn't exist. When that comes on stream and you have to choose between vaccinating your child or not, is when there'll be a watershed. And that made sense to me, really.
Thank you, Asia, and thank you, me, myself, and I. I missed you. So next, DeSatan and Abbott cannot block the mask mandate. They have tried. So if a school district or something, a judge has upheld it in both Texas and Florida that there is a mask mandate and you cannot block it. So what is their next move?
Oh, well, I'm moving to the circus cards. Oh.
I started to get those out too, just because I thought you might use it.
So it's how it's going to affect them. Sorry, just recap the question for my aged brain.
It's because what I wanted to get at was what are they going to try to do next? Because if they can't block the mask mandate, what are they going to try to do next?
Yeah. What's their next move?
Because they were threatening, okay, I'm going to take money from your school. I'm going to start docking this.
Yeah.
It's a secret. There is a hidden agenda. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a shot night. Do shots for the devil because he's coming out.
Talking about his children.
You know what? I think they're only just beginning to realize how deep in the doo-doo they are. Looking at them.
Yeah, they've got to change up their game plan because they got to walk away from this one. They got to change it up, and there's a lot of heartbreak over the children that are now getting it. And but they're still corrupt. They're still like chained to the devil. So they're going to try to highlight, I think, money that Biden has put into the vaccination programs, and they're going to try to smear that, break it up, trying to give some sort of details that are nefarious. They're going to try to block something else with COVID, is what I'm getting. All the Republicans, something about the messaging of it. They're going to try to block the messaging of COVID, like not allow it to play on TV or something, or, not commercials or whatever, something like that. I don't know. It's like they're trying to turn their back on everything that's happened before, but they're going to try to block something with the messaging. Thank you, Mara.
Becca, what you get?
For DeSatan, I get that he's doing something here which is very self-serving to win, but then he's going to keep it quiet and continue to lie. So I don't know if that's in regard to that stuff that he was making money off of, Regeneron or whatever, because here it's showing that he's self-serving and self-dealing and making a big win out of it, keeping it quiet and then lying about it. For Hot Wheels over there, I guess that this man is going to perhaps vocally protest or fight vaccinations here with the scythe, but he's going to verbally argue something against it on vaccines next. So,
if you're a patriot, don't take it.
Yeah.
Purposes only, YouTube.
Jesus will save you.
Shall I go, Johnny?
Yes, ma'am, which again?
Yeah. Well, I got lots of elephants. Okay. So the world card, I think they're beginning to realise that this is an issue that's too big for them to manage, but they're not going to admit that. It's an absolute burden. And so they have to fudge and lie and cheat with the moon card here. There's also the Seven of Swords, which is the theft. And I think DeSantis is coming up to be an investigation into what he's done with COVID monies for the state, because it certainly hasn't been in preventing the spread of the disease. So what's happened to that money? I think that's what that card is speaking to. And the Strength card will keep them going because his numbers aren't actually falling that much. So at the moment, he's still riding on the hatred of Dems and everything else that's keeping him afloat. But at the end of the day, money will win out. Yeah, that's what I
don't get a specific plan, which is what I was trying to get, but I do get that there are finances that are going to be manipulated. There are gifts from the government that are going to be sort of trapped or wrapped up. So maybe there's some sort of funding coming from the federal government that they either use for something else or they hold it forever and ever and ever. I'm here with my COVID card, but this is also a poverty and lack card with the Five of Pentacles. So there's money coming in that should be for the citizens, but it means the Nine of Swords. It's kind of, they changed something about it.
Johnny, that's a very pretty deck. What deck is that?
Oh, Lord. Wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Because I actually kept the box for this one.
Oh, that's
It's called the Elemental Wisdom
Tarot.
And for anybody that wants to buy it, you have to get it from a person, and he is in Poland. So it may take a while to get through customs here. Well, it did for me anyway. But it's worth it because it's the prettiest I own.
Lucky you had a spare deck while you were waiting, don't you?
Or two.
It took a minute, but it was worth it. Giuliani. Where is his mama? Because he needs some more home training. Bless his heart. Thank you, Thelma. So Giuliani says that his accusation against Dominion is substantially true. So does he actually have something, or is he about to die on this hill? Is he about to go down with the ship?
Let's not forget how many copies of Hunter Biden's laptop did he have?
5. I'm thinking it was 5 or something like that. Yep.
And my problem is Newsmax has already lost their case. So if you are accusing Dominion, or who was he accused of? Did they accuse Dominion, or was it that other people? Anyway, if you're accusing these people of election tampering and somebody has already lost, don't you think you're going to lose too? I mean, okay.
Yeah, it's admitting you're bad at election manipulation, if nothing else.
So does he have something, or is he just
Giuliani
gonna die on this hill, I guess?
Oh,
what was Trump thinking when he left his strategy to My Pillow guy and Giuliani? What was he thinking? Wasn't he thinking? Like, of all the people.
Maybe he was being dewormed at the time.
On his golden throne toilet.
Oh gosh.
And my Trump card flew out.
You look ready to go, Becca. My Leopard sister.
I get no. No. There may have been some manipulation here or something that's very painful and difficult. And then there's the secret and the knowledge. No, it's all manipulated fake stuff that he's been handed. So maybe if he would have been drinking on the job so much, he would have been able to discern that he was being led around like a fool.
So is it true with Giuliani, major drinking problem, like hasn't been sober since 1972? Is that right?
That's correct, Lena. He just did an interview. I think it was on, oh gosh, what channel was it on YouTube? Was it the Ring of Fire or another one where he did an interview and he basically admitted to his drinking problems? Well, he didn't come out and say I'm an alcoholic. Just I like to drink and this and that and the other. So
I like beer.
Yeah.
I gotta wash Ivermectin down with something.
Yeah.
Lena, what'd you get?
Well, leading off with the false knight. Thank you for that interpretation, Johnny. It's been picked up by everybody. But yes, in this case, Giuliani, the false knight, or someone who had false information and gave to Giuliani, who 5 years ago, 10 years ago would have dismissed it out of hand. But because he's a desperate man, said thank you and took it. Then Wheel of Fortune, this is like the final nail in the coffin. As the wheel turns, Giuliani's under that wheel, because my final of 3 cards was the Hierophant coming down,
There goes the bus over Rudy.
There goes the bus. Broom, broom.
Thank you, Mary.
Yeah, he's gonna lose on this one. He's a loser too. It's like, this Dark Night of the Soul. It's the time for introspection, and he's just not doing it. He's trying to climb to higher ground. He's got a commitment, to just keep spewing this stuff. So he keeps returning over and over to the same thing. It's like he has a plan, but he can't get the plan off the ground because he's a liar. So it's going to burden him. I have the false knight card too. It's all about image. Try to maintain the same image. Just keep bullying and pushing it through. And what do? You just try to defend yourself. He's going to end up paying some money out for this though. This lawsuit. He's going to lose it.
How much was his lawsuit from Dominion? Was it 1.6 billion or 1.6, right?
I can't remember because it was different for different things, but they ran from like 1.2 to 1.6 billion.
Well, I got the struggle to juggle in the midst of chaos with the 2 of Pentacles, which is his life in a nutshell. Strength. So there's going to be added pressure and added burden, if you will. So this struggle is going to get harder. It's going to get stronger, if you will. There was some information you took from someone here with the Lover's card. It was bat crap crazy, as they say, with the Knight of Swords. It was very erratic. It was kind of like there were voices coming out of the microwave type thing. So, thank you, Kenya. And so you went along with it because you have a lack of judgment. Page of Cups, Page of Swords, very naive, very you could be capable, but you don't see a big picture in things. You're not trying to get to the bottom of something. You're trying to circulate a lie. So therefore, since you're trying to do that, everything that you got going on is going to fail because it was built on a lie. So it gets worse from there, but I'll stop at the 4 of Swords. This is something you don't have to retreat from. So you don't have anything, sir.
He's gonna have to lay on a bed and tuck his blue shirt in. Going. Keep the lie going.
But Sidney Powell, that weird lawyer of Trump's, didn't she get caught up in all this Dominion stuff? Because they got slammed by a judge this week. Go back to law school.
Yeah, there's 9 lawyers that might get disbarred and got slammed by the Michigan judge.
Like Anna was saying, the judge sent him back to election law school.
Yeah.
while they're being reviewed. Oh, and the judge referred them also for disbarment.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point in going to law school again if you're going to get disbarred. Save your money.
So Owen Schroyer is the co-worker of Alex Jones. He took his hind hips down to the Capitol to participate in the riot. He said he didn't, but they got pretty much everybody in the world on videotape because we have that in 2021. As we were talking about our old school televisions. So what kind of trouble is he in? Or is he in any trouble at all? And will this reflect on Alex Jones?
Okay. So what's his story? Does he co-host with Alex Jones or what? Yeah.
He's one of his co-hosts.
Yeah.
Wanted to stop the steals and all that type of stuff.
He got arrested and then or indicted, and then he was trying a GoFundMe for his lawyers. And GoFundMe stopped him from doing it.
Oh, really? How
Yeah,
fabulous.
like, yep,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that.
Okay. What's going to happen with his code?
What does it mean for him? He's going to be in isolation and have a lot of questions asked of him because he's in cahoots with people. There's stuff about people he's talked to that's going to come out in investigations, and in court, all his partnerships are going to come out. There's going to be more indictments. So they're not done yet with him. They're not finished. There's unfinished work in this. He's probably going to get a little sentence is what I'm getting in jail when it's all wrapped up. But yeah, it's not good for him. I got to look and see how it's going to impact Jones.
Lena, what you get?
Well, you know, spent dealings behind the scenes with money. Why we should ever be surprised about these things. Okay, so money. This is the debate that's raging around him because lawyers trying to defend these people, you can imagine how hard their job is if they're real lawyers, you know, as opposed to just being paid to stand up and be part of the circus. So this is going around going nowhere. They're not finding a legal angle to defend him on very easily. Like that's it. Court cases are all about that angle, right? They can't find it with him. He is facing judgment and quite a stern possibility of outcome, but what it's going to lead to, I think the investigation itself is going to lead to more. The money ball is he's taken money for sponsorship, and that's going to come out. That's going to sink him before what he's been charged with sinks him. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think corrupt sponsorship. Yeah.
What you get, Beck?
I get that his outcome is not certain, but I don't see big loads of trouble around him. I see more trouble around 4 other men that have been there. There's this person here with money. This person here, perhaps a veteran of some sort with the lilies. This person here, so this could be Trump or somebody else, and then this younger man here. So, and he could argue that this was just marketing, what he does as a career, but there's these 4 figures, males around him that could get in trouble because of him or the other way around.
That's what I get. I get that he is going to try to spin this as he was there on assignment or he was doing work. He was not there participating in the overthrowing of an election. He was there as a correspondent or something.
Yes,
Now, mind you, he said he was not there. So now he's going to change the story as they normally do in that realm. But it's going to play out in the world. We are going to see this. He was also seen. So it's not conjecture whether you were there or not. We know you were there. So this is going to play out. The Knight of Cups and the Eight of Cups, this is him saying that I went there for a specific purpose. I had good intention, and then I left. Six of Wands, Knight of Cups, and the Eight of Swords, he was contracted. Like somebody sent him there to do a certain thing. It was not to be a horrible person. However, the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords is how it ends. And so... Damn, that sucks, place. So that's kind of where you are, buddy. With the Five of Cups, you have regrets. Nine of Swords, you are worried about what comes next. Because if you had a GoFundMe for one lawyer, you're going to need a GoFundMe and any other Kickstarter or whatever else you can get for your next round of lawyers.
You better set up a Kool-Aid stand on the side of the road. So I asked, what's it mean for Alex Jones? And it's like, it's going to bring out something about transportation for the Peanut Butter Boys is what I'm getting, that he secured, that he contracted. So I feel like Alex Jones is tied into transportation stuff for the insurrection. I get there's going to be like an investigation, and this is coming pretty swift. So I think the fact his friend's indicted now, his friend may be talking a little bit. Alex Jones is going to have to pack his bags and go. He might be going to jail.
Oh, interesting.
That would be lovely.
That would be lovely. The parents of the Sandy Hook victims can finally sleep at night.
Look, exactly.
Thank you, Lisa, for posting the questions too. Okay, so we answered this one. Well, not really, but I'm going to ask it anyway. It was in our community post. So right now they're circling the wagons for Donald Trump. Like they're picking up all the little allies and getting all the information they can. Even if he is not the end goal, they're still circling the wagon of somebody, if not the Trump organization as a whole. Will one of the kids be put in a spot of pressure by the DOJ in order to cooperate against Donald Trump? Will they be part of the wagon circling? Will they go after one of the kids to get more information, basically?
Oh. Huh? Well, will I go, Johnny? I've got some.
Go right ahead.
Okay. So, as always, they want to protect themselves and move to a safer place with the Six of Swords. They will have no choice. In the end, the kids, or the adult criminal offspring, as I refer to them, will have their arms twisted. Here's the Hermit card, which looks very like Trump before his valet gets to him in the morning, doesn't it, really? You know, that's what he really looks like. They're fighting as we speak with each other, right? And I think that includes the three main ones plus Trump himself. I don't think they're actually warning him, and I don't think they're telling the truth to each other, right? But it's just going round in circles. But I love this card. Talk about the nail in the coffin. So they will provide, one of them at least, will provide something really, really, really inescapable.
Can you hold that 5 of wands back up again? What I really like about that card, because you say they're infighting, which I really thank you, Uma. And those wands look like dynamite.
Yeah,
It's like
true.
not only are they fighting amongst each other, but they're eventually going to do harm to each other, and it's just going to.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Oh, Lord, Jen, what you get?
I get things are already complete on the kids in the investigation, that they've already secured, victory on that. They've already got a bunch of data, a bunch of information and documents on them. And it's just a matter of like picking which one they're going to get to cooperate with them. But I get the information is strong on all 3 of them. The one that cooperates, there is one that might produce a little bit more evidence through the justice system, but they're also going to lie under oath, so that's going to get them in more trouble. So I see indictments, but I don't see that like turning and flipping is going to help, because they're going to lie under oath.
Yeah, because they've been trained since babyhood. They don't speak; they just lie.
Yeah,
that's a conversation.
Yeah. Somebody wants to know what deck you're using, Becca.
Oh, this one's the destroyed Lenormand.
No.
I get a yes. They're gonna make it so painful and hard for them. Not looking at like 3 or 4 months in prison. No, this is a very long time. Long time. With no help on the way, because daddy's not there to help you. So more than likely a male. But that's what I get.
I get a man too. He's going to be the one, I think it's Don Jr. He's going to be the one burdened, because this is the doer, and Eric Trump is he strikes me as more of the emotional, even though yeah. He strikes me as more, not so much emotional, he's more naive than Don Jr. Don Jr. is more emotional because he's coked up, but you didn't hear that from me, but that's
if you watch him on Twitter, he is so coked up now. Every day is another video.
Like this all the time. It's like, I thought cocaine made you all crazy, and he's all like dopey-eyed and
red-eyed.
The girl got the crazy part. He got the down.
And that tells you too how long the coke addiction's been going on, because coke makes you faster until you've been doing it like 10 or 15 years, and you need a line before you get out of bed. He's in that category.
Okay. So Congress can get Donald Trump's taxes. He has tried to stop it, tried to delay it, tried to do everything he possibly could, sacrificing the virgin and everything else. What is his next move now that they can actually get his taxes? Is he going to try to throw some other smoke screen, but what kind?
Oh.
It's a witch hunt.
It's a witch hunt.
He gives witches a bad name.
He does.
Someone put in the comments, things go better with Coke. Yeah.
Try Pepsi.
Oh, don't start me on Diet Coke. Oh, look, one of the problems with trying to make a drinkable drink and say no added sugar, it's only because they add a pile of carcinogenic chemicals.
Yes.
Just in substitute of humble sugar. But there we go.
Stevia and xylitol.
What's he going to do now about the tax?
Well, for starters, he's going to snort more Adderall and get very, very erratic. I get he's going to bully Republicans to fight for him. So, like go to McCarthy and people like, stop it.
Yeah.
What'd you get?
I don't know.
What'd you get, Lena?
Oh, sorry. This is one of my fears coming up, that it's with the death card here. It's almost too late. Not completely, but this is 5 years overdue. Right. So in other words, people are already in their camps about it, regardless of what they actually say. So that raises the legal question of how powerful it will be or not. It'll still be very hidden underneath about overseas money. Right. But the point is, will the electorate get it or not? It's not really so much anymore about what's in them. It's about that issue, whether it will make any difference. And the thefts, I think, funnily enough, I think people might be more upset about money he ends up proved that he stole around, with the help of family members, around the inauguration, things that are more recent. So it's not that the court case won't show these associations with Russia and everything else. It's just, I don't know that it's going to make that much difference.
Yeah. It's like, I think that they're claiming the Congress and stuff to review his taxes, I believe, to, make sure that we have good laws. But we already have the emoluments clauses.
Yeah, that were contravened on day 2 and nothing happened.
Because he had the Republican Party playing cover. So, did you go, Jenny? Did you go?
Mm-hmm.
I had pulled a line of 5 and he ended at the back. So there's his successful business records, multiples of them being delivered, and then there's him. So mail getting forwarded in regards to his businesses and his business ventures. And so I pulled 4 more to put him in the middle. There's nothing he can do. He's out of avenues. He's going to have to cut his losses here because there's going to be some serious painful stuff going on with him in the courts. And then everything gets revealed and answered here. I also get that several avenues of his business ventures are cut off this way with the Fish, Crossroads, Siphon Key. And then he's suffering in court, or he's suffering here with the law. So it's like he doesn't really have options. There's no other way to fight it. You've already taken it to the Supreme Court. That went to crap when they said, they dropped it because he was no longer in office. So that's not an option. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he's going to be wrapped up in so much stuff that it's just like, it's going to be a loss. And everything gets revealed anyways. So.
I get that he becomes very emotional and, like Jen said, kind of targets the GOP. The King of Swords and the Page of Cups, he's got a lot of emotions tied into this because he feels as though this is the thing that is his Achilles heel, is his finances, because it reveals too much. But the Death and the 5 of Pentacles, there's also a huge loss in money, huge loss in finance. I've said this forever and ever and ever. That is one of his main problems, is this reported loss of money, how he loses money everywhere he goes, and yet he's supposed to be a billionaire. His golf course in Scotland loses, gajillion dollars a year. His Trump properties don't make any money. Nothing makes money, and yet he has
nothing makes money.
So there's going to be some sort of change to that. I think that you may actually start to see that poverty line too, believe it or not. But his personal finance with the 9 of Pentacles and the 6 of Wands is what's going to be called to the forefront. Here's my follow-up question. Like Lena said, does any of this matter? Even a little bit to sway some of the people that
some of the middle.
Something. Just like, does anybody just wake up and say, you know what, you are a crook? I can see it.
I mean, he's already robbed his people with those payments. Remember that?
Yeah. And they're still lobbying people. Send this to, stop the steal and all of that, which is why it keeps rolling on.
And now he's selling Trump cards that are full of typos. It says a fickle. So, a fickle Trump cards. It's like, and he's
Yeah. Oh, one of the comments just was, he's really good at failing upwards. Yeah, that's what he's done. And look, now, he tried to get a casino in Australia in the 90s.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And our equivalent of the FBI, our federal police, investigated him then and said, there is no way this man, and trust me, they're not even fussy about casino licenses, said this man is so blatantly mobbed up and of bad character, he could not possibly be issued a casino license. Now, they worked that out with paper evidence then.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy.
That's insane to me. That's just, anybody else.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, like anybody else has bad credit. Good luck getting a card to Radio Shack. That's about to go out of business. But you are a multi-billion-dollar loser, and let's give you all the money we can find. No sense.
So does it make a difference? I have a no car right on the bottom. Does it make a difference? No, they would still vote for the devil. Would they transition after everything came out in court? They think his thievery and everything and his smugness is what makes him strong. They're still committed to him.
Yeah.
Jesus. Ay. I get a no. I get that they're naive and wishful thinking, and they're still linked and committed.
Yeah.
Like, total loser, that's our guy.
Little thief ripping us off too.
And killing us with COVID, that's our guy.
Yeah. I've got the same, but with a small twist, which is, they are naive. Here's the naive card. It's becoming a burden to support him, but not too much of a burden. They'll go on and they can't admit they're wrong. I think these personal things like the solicitation of $20 from you and you and you is having a bit of an impact. They're evaluating why he's saying that. But the problem is they then don't speak up. They go into retreat. Even if they have doubts, they keep them to themselves because the pantomime has to go on. The circus, because if you're a blue dot in a red sea or a red dot in a red sea, more to the point, and you're starting to think, this has been too much for too long, you still don't want to take on everybody, your hairdresser, your brother-in-law, your husband, everyone, so they don't speak up.
I get to put this incense out because it's in my throat. That's what I get to do. No more smoke. Okay. Ace of Swords would have told me yes, that it would make a difference. And then I got the Two of Pentacles. So we have a problem. So yes, it should make a difference. Yes, it could make a difference because the proof of the pudding is in the eating and they got a mouthful. So we have the information. It's not like you can even spin it and twist it. It's in front of you. However, they deal and specialize and have doctorates in spinning and twisting. So they're going to do it anyway. So the Hierophant in the Eight of Pentacles, this is their day-to-day life. This is what they do. This is their cover-up is not even for Trump. It's for all of them. If it was whoever else, they'd do it for whoever else. It's the R at the end of their name type thing. That's all they really care about. Donald Trump is their guy right now because he's got the momentum, they think. But the support here in the Knight of Swords, that erratic support anyway, does have a Ten of Swords with it. That's a hell of a Ten of Swords image, but there's a Ten of Swords with it.
What is
It's fairly graphic, isn't it?
Where their logic lies, there's a big sword in it. So
that's right.
From the Ace of Swords, more than likely. So the problem is, just like Lena said, they know, but they won't say anything. That support there meets the end. So it's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to stand in line and do my thing because they're burdened about their own futures. And so they need to keep their jobs. They need to keep their donors. They need to maintain the appearance of one party. even though it's like 10. But they need to maintain the appearance that we're all in this together. And Donald Trump did nothing wrong.
And that is their tribe. And people are very tribal, you know.
Yeah. There's a person in our neighborhood that is gladly flying an American flag, and right underneath it, a Trump won 2020 flag. Like, I hope your house burns down.
I would have to get one of those Trump lost flags and plant it right across the street from him.
It's too bad I have to go up like 2 streets to go to that idiot's house. You know? But it's,
in front of my house, there's 5 mailboxes for all the houses, around.
Oh, yeah.
And I have Kenny cornered from me, a Trump supporter. And what did I have during election time for, several months leading up to the election? The Biden sign right by the mailboxes, because they're on my property. Damn it.
So if nothing else, you cancel each other out.
Oh, Lord.
Every time he had to pick up his mail, walk over to in front of my house to pick up the mail, there's my sign. I know it just ate him alive.
Look, I'd like to throw a question in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like, okay, here's the thing. Many, in all seriousness, and I say this with a hand on the heart, and God forgive me, but they are actually killing their own voters. We know this now in significant numbers. Then there are others who are going to be disenchanted because they bought the lie, therefore they think, what's the point of voting? And if you join those together, that's a lot of voters. Is that going to play out in 2022 in terms of the Republican turnout?
Will the turnout be lower? Because hard to turn out from the grave.
The ultimate postal ballot, really.
Or will there be a lot of mail-in votes from dead people?
Yeah, right. Because that's what lost them Georgia, of people thinking, oh, there's no point voting, because they bought the very line. You see this? Yeah, Okay, 2022 suppressed. Is it going to make a difference? Yes, Florence, we are leopard ladies. Now that's good. Yes, she noticed what we're wearing. We could go on Instagram, make a killing, Becca.
What's that, Lena?
The leopard ladies.
We should go on what's that other one? The TikTok, and do some dancing. Disco with Lena and Becca.
I get there less because they've crossed over to the other side.
I get it. Look at this. I got the same.
They have separated life and they have journeyed on over. The sick are gone. So it's a struggle for them. It's a big struggle for them to get the voters to turn out. And they're confused why. Like, hey, we asked you to come out. Where are you?
Oh, wow, yeah. Oh.
Lena, what you get?
Well, I think the GOP is in trouble anyway. We know that. But we're talking about the ones who do still strategy. There's a strategy. They're anticipating it. The grown-ups, even if we hate them, the Mitch McConnells and the Lindsey Grahams and stuff who understand political strategy have identified this already. I don't think the Matt Gaetzes and the Jim Jordans and stuff. I'm talking the old guard. And they're worried that the people they were in bed with for 4 generations, if not more, are now going, will I or won't I? Can I be bothered? And I think it is a bit of a nail in the coffin. It is going to impact, I would think, the end of their domination over people.
What you get back?
I get that they're cut off from the power and the relationship, the commitment. It's cut off. Now, with these two, there's still a desire to cling on to power. It's like something has ruptured financially and with the commitment there. So either your voters are in jail because they participated in an insurrection and are felons and can't vote. You've killed them through COVID from something they've contracted because of the vaccines and not wanting to take the vaccines, or whatever. Like you just, or maybe they ingested bleach and died. Who knows? But it's like, it's kind of like the relationship is severed, but the ones that remain are still committed to cling to power.
They're all going to have horse-sized hemorrhoids.
Oh, there you go. The hemorrhoids, the dewormer. I forgot about that.
Yeah, the horse hemorrhoids.
Thank you, Linda. So I get the 8 of Swords and the 10 of Swords as the first card. Yes, it does play into 2020 in a very dramatic way. Your fan base, I don't even call them voters, your fan base.
Wow, that's an interesting card there. Is that the 10 of Swords there in the
Oh my God. They were betrayed by you and all your policies and all your friends.
All dressed up in red at that first card.
And now,
The blood doesn't show.
in a puddle of red. Oh my gosh.
and now you get the 4 of Swords. So you get to
That's a classic spread.
Your wooden box forever. But there's going to be huge talks about the security and how it is dying down. This does spell good for the Dems, even a little, but it does spell good for them. Now, what they need to do is make sure that they maintain their message, because it is very easy for that to slip away. Because all you have to do is whip something into a frenzy. Afghanistan will die down, but they can figure out something else. So the Dems do look good for 2022, but again, stay on that straight line, because this can still go wobbly. But I mean, they did it to themselves. And mind you, they're still doing it to themselves, because they are the anti-mask and the anti-vax and the anti-this and don't tell me what to do and all these type of things. And so they're still dying, and they're still drinking bleach, and they're still drinking fish tank cleaner, and they're still taking horse medicine. And so
still drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah. So yes.
And one of the viewers just said she lives in South Oregon. Ivermectin is sold out at Tractor Supply and such stores for 150 miles in every direction.
Jeez Louise. And it's like
goes. Go
I'm just saying.
that they spent years indoctrinating these people against everything, and this is the culmination of it.
Well, exactly. And it has even a longer history. It's that undermining of science that's gone on since the Reagan era.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you listen to scientists? And this is the ultimate, sort of reaction to that. They are carrying on as if it's the Middle Ages. It's demented, It's truly demented. Yeah.
That does bring me to the next question, though. Oh, wait. Because I don't know why it does that. Sharon Sipe, you're going to be a moderator. That way I don't have to approve your comments anymore. Ivermectin, so I looked it up. I said this morning or this afternoon, is used to deworm horses and cattle, livestock, that type of thing. Somebody won some sort of Nobel Peace Prize or something back in the day because they found that in smaller doses, ivermectin can treat a disease caused by tapeworms in humans.
Yeah.
So not the worm, but the disease that is caused by the worm. But what they're doing is they're taking horse medicine. They are not taking something that is formulated for humans.
That's right. It's a veterinary product.
Which is why you're being poisoned and you are dying.
Yeah.
So there is a website called speakwithanmd.com. And on this website, the man who created the website is pro-Trump. He is the Stop the Steal person. And so on this website, they're all telling each other where to go get ivermectin, how to get ivermectin. You should have it, dosage, and, take it and blah, blah, blah. And so what they're also doing is giving you tips if you cannot get it. They're saying ivermectin comes in a paste form. Make sure you have some paste on hand if you cannot get the pill.
And the paste is apparently far worse.
Yes. Because it's not, because at least with the tablet, your body won't absorb all of it, but the paste is, it's kind of like liquid. So what I want to know is, will this continue? That'll be my first question. Will this continue? And I have a follow-up to this. Will this?
Shall we spread it out to all the wacky sort of alternative ideas of how to cure yourself, or just stay with Ivermectin?
Well, the ivermectin, I want to stay with that one because this one is being widely accepted.
Right.
Like
okay.
some people with the bleach, they knew not, at least some of them knew not to drink bleach. But this one, they're all going full stream ahead with the horse pills. Yeah, that's the new IE paste, isn't it?
Yeah, apparently it causes diarrhea of some proportions.
Oh, mercy alive. I can't do it.
Someone just said the poor animals that may need it, and the medicine's been hoarded by Trumpers.
Oh, pro-life, but let me kill off my base first.
And when I was a kid, with the horses, we used to deworm them with these huge tablets. And someone, probably my dad, thought it was a good idea to be me, the skinny 6 and 7-year-old, to put my arm down the horse's throat with the tablets. Well, it's amazing we survived, really.
I look back over my childhood and say the same thing. It's like, all the things
They
that
weren't big on child psychology. Just remember.
was encouraged to do, I'm still alive.
So, ivermectin, will it continue? But maybe this isn't new. I knew a family with 9 kids down the road, and their father, his solution for anything, cuts, burns, illness, was diesel. Right? So the kids all had a pact. Don't tell Dad, right? Don't tell Dad, you know. Yeah.
I'm bleeding to death. Don't tell Dad.
Yeah.
Well, it's like in the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and the dad keeps spraying Windex on everything on skin things.
Because the Greeks invented everything. Yeah, that's right.
This is my card for America. This is America now. You're welcome. Thank you, world. Look at us now. Because the thieves are going to keep making everybody anxious and bring out everything loony and keep them addicted to the devil in a steady fashion. I get strength on it. I don't get it's changing.
Yeah, that's right.
Lena, what you did?
Oh, well, the magician at work, that people in the modern world, in a first world country, would actually be even entertaining this for a nanosecond, shows how good the magic has been to get to this point. That's sort of the main thrust of it. And then I've got cups. People believe what they want to believe and trust the people they want to trust. The false knight is never short of it, something to do, heading out and giving them ideas. And of course, you know, you couldn't script it. Illusion, you know, that they are in Disneyland. These people live in Disneyland about the whole issue. This is just the most recent manifestation of the manifestation of madness with the magician, you know.
It's just insanity to me. You don't want to take the vaccine, so you go down to the feed store, poison yourself. Now you end up with a ridiculous hospital bill because you didn't want to go take a vaccine. I mean, it's just, it doesn't make sense.
I just heard something. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
But don't lose your train of thought.
No,
I rarely get the downloads in these things because there's so many of us, and I'm wondering which button to push when I do YouTube and stuff. I just heard kids suing parents. Wow.
Well, you know
okay,
what's
sorry, go
scary?
on.
I had heard a news story the other day. I think it was on TYT, where a mother was purchasing ivermectin for her 8-year-old. Now you're poisoning adults. Now imagine giving the wrong dose to an 8-year-old. I guess
it's Darwinism at its finest, survival of the fittest.
I'm getting that this thing is going to have longevity. I got the book. Here's the lilies, and then tower longevity. There may have to be some sort of decision or intervention by a judge or a court or some sort of institution where they take this off the market and only give it perhaps prescription only via your veterinarian, because it looks like it ends up being controlled here through an institution because of how long this thing goes. So that may be a thing to where the corporations don't want to be held liable because people are suing themselves, so they change it to prescription only. But it looks like a wise decision because it has longevity for people to continue to be stupid.
There's some worry from some companies here, 9 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. And I think they are in the business of selling ivermectin. So, it's nice that you're buying it, but at the same time, you're giving it sort of a bad name, and then come the restrictions and so forth and so forth. So there is some sort of worry of a company here about manufacturing. There's also, I don't know why, don't know how, I'm not an MD, but there is some sort of heart problem developing too, or some sort of heart murmur, or irregular heartbeat, or heartbeat going faster, or something of that nature too. But the suffering does continue because they continue to take it.
Yeah, one of the comments just was a prison doctor prescribed it for a bunch of prisoners who had COVID.
He is our next question.
One more comment. How many of these clowns even have health insurance? That's another.
Dr. Robert Carros is being probed at the moment because he prescribed, or he's been using ivermectin to treat his patients and inmates because he was given the contract to treat inmates.
Oh, that must be him.
So he was treating inmates and his patients with ivermectin. So what is going to come of that probe? Will he be indicted and charged with anything?
MD. What's his name?
Robert Carros, K-A-R-A-S.
Robert Carros.
Somebody else said, I've seen it pass that they had a co-worker who had arthritis and used WD-40 on their arthritis, on their joints. Didn't work, but that's what they used. Creaky joints, use WD-40.
Here's the hard thing. Sandra Nevins says it's a neurotoxin used to treat dogs with heartworms. So it's the heart thing you're picking up on, Johnny, probably the heartworm. But it's a neurotoxin. So they're going to get madder. If they survive, they get madder. Oh, my.
So we're going to need something done with our mental health institutions in America next.
Will he be charged? Carras, will he be charged?
Freedom of speech is fantastic, but this is dangerous when you can get anybody to believe anything.
So I get that guy's going to lose his job. He's going to get asked some questions. He's going to lose his job. Somebody's been covering up for him. I do see him in defense mode, so that tells me he might end up with some charges.
Will I go, Johnny?
Yes, ma'am.
I think someone's stolen his records. We've got the theft of paperwork because they're so outraged, I think, and then he'll be charged. I don't know that he'll necessarily go to jail or lose his license, but I think charges will follow.
What you getting, Becca?
I get nothing happens to him. There's the infection, the losses, the news of it, but ultimately innocent. And he still has a good reputation and good public standing.
Good man.
There is the Emperor and the Ace of Wands. There's some sort of new action that is being taken by the jail, so he may be out of that. The Strength and the World. I mean, he still has a strong standing. I mean, he didn't give them, something he created in his kitchen. There still is a small science behind ivermectin that allows him to do something so foolish, but at the same time, it's not FDA approved for what he's using it for. So this I think can cost him his job at the jail, or his contract with the jail, I should say. But he still has a strong standing. There's something sneaky happening here too with the Seven of Swords. Something is being
both got the Seven of Swords. Weird.
The Five of Swords too. There's something there. King of Swords. Somebody's moving something around and manipulating something too. I don't know if that's outside of this situation or what, but the Hermit and the Page of Swords, the investigation does take sort of a negative turn. This probe, as you will. So I don't see him going to jail or anything like that.
No.
Oh, well. So here's my next question then. What, if we can see this in the cards, what is next? What is their next cure-all? Is it going to be motor oil? Is it going to be blades of grass? What is it going to be next? What can we see? See if the cards will tell us. What are they going to use next?
What are they going to use next? Good
First
question.
it was bleach, and then ultraviolet light,
That's right.
fish tank cleaner.
Yeah.
What's next?
One of the comments says, reporting from Rachel Maddow, those that are currently in hospital from taking ivermectin have heart trouble, tremors, and severe neurological problems.
There you go. Lori Liquid Plumber. Oh,
Lord.
what's next?
What's going to be next? What's going to be next?
Yes, Terry, fish tank cleaner. Now, mind you, Donald Trump said hydroxychloroquine. The people who took it, they took chloroquine. Chloroquine is fish tank cleaner. So.
Oh, no.
I'd like to know how many of Fox News people and how many of the Republicans are making money on ivermectin horse.
Yeah.
The whole gang over there at Fox News, Jenny, the Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, the trio.
And you can bet your bottom dollar they've all had their Pfizers.
Well, Lena, there was a document that was leaked from Fox News that all of their employees are mandated, whether vaccinated or not. Well, they're mandated to be vaccinated to go to the network to work. Oh, and while you're indoors, especially in production rooms, it's mandated that you must wear a mask because of the Delta variant, and you must have a passport if you're required to travel, a vaccine card. So it's mental. And who sits there at home and thinks that Laura Ingraham or Sean Hannity or Tucker Carlson's taking ivermectin?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it's something we use every day. The next thing, it's going to be something that we do that we use every day. So I feel like it's something household cleaner kind of thing, and it's something that'll affect neurological also. It's something that they're making money off of. The businessmen, Republicans, are making money off of. That's why I was asking, what are they making? Yeah, what are they invested in? That's what they're going to push next. It's the Republicans, whatever they've got money invested in. So it's going to be something that they've got investments in, and it's something very common around the household is what I'm getting. Something we use all the time. Dawn dishwashing detergent, something like that.
What you get, Lena?
Well, the same as Jen in the sense that, what have they got money in? But here's the disturbing one where I got the 8 of Wands where my brain went, I think it's going to be something we know as an aerosol.
So lemon pledge.
Mortine or something like that, and some demented things. But wait for the accompanying cards. The devil, the 8 of Wands. So just in case they're not chained to the devil enough, they're doing it themselves on top of that, followed by the death card, just in case you didn't get those 2 warnings. And you can't do anything with these people. It's like I've got 4 versions of this card in my pack. It just keeps turning up. You cannot reason with delusion.
The devil card
they're going to be, well, now they're neurologically compromised as well from their first wave. It's going to be even harder.
But that makes me think it's something addictive. So like, spray paint, snorting spray paint.
Yeah. Like the aerosol spray paint thing, but the addictive thing. I hadn't thought of that, but there it is in the devil addiction. Yeah. So that'd be awesome. That'd really ice the cake, wouldn't it?
Or the duster. A bunch of kids were dying off of the duster spray that you used to clean your keyboards. People inhale that and and die. I got the sun, the lilies, the crossroads. So this is energy, something yellow. This is something that's pure and clean. And this is multiples. So it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe a household cleaner, like a Lysol or
handy wipes, multiples.
Handy wipes, like it. But it could be like a yellow cleaner, but it's used for cleaning and purifying things. Also, if I read this in regular context, this is something that's used for the elderly patients because this is has to do with older people. So it may be something that's perhaps prescribed to elderly people, but
laxatives.
Yeah, just flush it out of yourself.
Okay, whole time. Pause for the cause. What's the next cure? Okay, what we got? Cleaner.
Full time.
Something edible. Urine. That's yellow because you can clean things with urine.
But it's hard for somebody to make money off of that unless it's like bear urine or something.
Yeah, that's right.
So
coyote urine.
So what I get is it's something liquid. So it's drinkable. I got the 9 of Cups as my indulgence card. So it's something you can drink. It's not quite poison or poisonous, but it is not meant for you to drink. It's almost like olive oil. So you can drink it, but you shouldn't, because unless you want to stop your heart, that's not the thing you need to be guzzling back. So there's the 9 of Cups and the 4 of Cups. So there's something you should drink, but you shouldn't or could drink. The 9 of Swords and the Sun with the Queen of Wands, it's something also you can heat up or that you should heat up to get rid of something, an impurity. So it's something you should filter or something like that.
So freebase it. And they're all going to torch and catch themselves on fire like Richard Pryor did. Sorry.
So that's pretty much what I get, is something liquid, and you can drink it but shouldn't drink it, but you should heat it up also to get rid of something else, some sort of impurity. So you buy it in a form.
Maybe it's coconut oil, because you know how coconut oil solidifies when it's cold, but then you can heat it and it turns into a liquid. You shouldn't be drinking jugs of it, and they sit there and drink like 10 gallons of it.
These people,
like a horse dewormer didn't loosen them up enough. Let's give them some coconut oil.
I know. And when all else fails, You can always shoot the virus. That's why you've got all those guns.
Because I'm American. Good old-
Night vision goggles so you can go out and hunt that virus.
Take Dick Cheney with you.
Yep. Is this your Second Amendment? Right. Don't forget that.
That's right.
So, okay, switching gears to Ken Kurson something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's a horrible person, so I don't want to get his name right. He is Jared Kushner's BFF, and he got a pardon from you know who, but now he has state charges for spying on his wife. So what is going to happen with him? Is he going to, have to take that ride down the river, or is he all right? State charges. He can't be federally pardoned for state charges.
Yeah.
We only have 208 votes so far in our poll. Come on, y'all, in the chat. We got enough of you.
Is it
clicking
50,
on your
50?
poll.
I see a 50 up there. Oh, cleaner.
Yeah, someone said they could be freebasing urine. Another said you could choke it out with a My Pillow.
I am definitely going to have to go back and read the chat on that one.
Well, look, the chat's great. Thank you guys for the chat. Another suggestion, maybe it's hydrogen peroxide. Now, that's not a bad suggestion. Another form of bleach. So you know what? You could bleach your extensions and have a gulp yourself and do everything at the same time.
I want platinum hair and platinum insides.
That's right.
What is our question?
So Don Jr.'s playmate.
Ken
That's
Kirsch.
what they're doing.
Will he get in trouble for spying on his wife? State charges.
Hang on.
Oh, mercy.
Oh, yeah, animal blood. They could start doing sacrifices. No, I'm putting two and two together. They're saying, will it be animal blood? And you can just see them now. Kill the goat. We are
Republican
ceremonial
Jesus
and
does
going
like
there.
sacrifices. Yes.
Burn offering.
The burnt offering. These are great comments. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Maria. Becca, what you get?
He in trouble. I pulled like every bad card minus the coffin. I got the cross, the clouds, the snake, the whip, he's screwed. This guy is screwed. So good luck.
What's in the center, Becca?
Snake. So he might have done something, or he could be doing something soon where he lies, and then that gets him in trouble. And then he could be fighting with a friend here. But it's like, good luck getting out of this one, because he's all tied up. So.
He's in trouble because they got a lot of details of stuff he's done to her. He's in big trouble, and they've been watching him for a while. It's like, family court kind of thing. Yeah, you're going to be blocked. He'll be lucky to ever own a cell phone again.
Look at it. That's yeah.
He may be going to jail over it when it's all complete and done.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm really surprised at how savage the cards are too, in the sense of here's this guy. But before that, Sandra says, I hate that darn yellow soap. It sticks to your teeth. Okay, back to Curzon. Look, here we go with the judicial stuff. He then gets the death card because there's money, and I think this is also Earth. It takes a long time. This is years he's been causing problems, and they don't like that. And I think he could go to jail, which would be a change. considering what these people get away with. But it's often that, isn't it? It's the low-hanging fruit that gets it.
Jerry can go visit him in jail and see how he likes his cell.
Give him some soap on a rope.
I get 2 of Pentacles, Page of Wands. So there's some information. There is some documents. There's some talking. There's some messaging, text messages, emails, a lot of stuff that is going to cause him a lot of trouble. The Wheel of Fortune is what's in the end, right next to the Ten of Swords. So his luck has run out. So you got away with murder once, OJ, and then you wrote a book about it. So sometimes you just need to learn when to shut up. So if you got a pardon from Donald Trump, you should be on your best behavior for the rest of the life.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it, with these people?
But his losses will be evident. They will be large. They will be huge. They will be for all to see as well, for those who care anyway. But yeah, you're going to be in constant conflict, at least for the next year. And it does not end well for you. But I mean, you went to the stupid Olympics, and so you won.
Yeah.
It's like you had a get out of jail free card. Leave it at that. Don't cross the street without looking. Don't do nothing wrong. Don't do nothing bad. But muscle memory. You like to do it, so go for it.
Well, Rolanda says there are bourbon and other spirit warehouses that are making hand sanitizers for free and giving them to hospitals, and that alcohol they use to make it is a byproduct of the spirit. So hand sanitizers sort of fits our criteria when we were talking to. That would make sense. People just take off the squirt top and chug-a-lug-a-lug.
Something they use every day.
Yeah.
So another horrible person who said for his slight defense, very slight defense, he said that he is now about to de-radicalize. He's in jail now, mind you. But he's about to de-radicalize. His name is Ty Garbin. He was one of the people who wanted to kidnap the governor of Michigan. So he wanted to kidnap the governor. He was part of that little group. He's all of 25 years old. He was an airplane mechanic, which is a good job to have. And so you threw it all away for this. And he is now about to spend 75 months in prison, not jail, but prison, which means you are a felon. And you have to pay a $2,500 fine. So is he going to de-radicalize truly or not? Because here's always my problem with people who get, like there's a police officer in Tennessee, I think, that just got kicked off the force because he has a bunch of Ku Klux Klan stuff that he posted online and didn't think nobody would see it. So he lost his job. Now, okay, great, because we don't need you on the police force. The problem is he's still a Klansman. Like, took everything from him, but he's still mentally in the same spot. So he's just going to move on to his next place with that same mentality. So does this guy have a change of heart at 25 years old?
What's his name again?
Ty Garbin.
Michigan kidnapping. Is he genuine? Is he genuine?
Where'd you get that?
Yes. He's already perhaps in the process of transitioning from that mindset because of the consequences, the results of his actions, and it's lifelong. This isn't something you're going to scrub off your list or your what do they call it? Your rap sheet anytime soon. So it's kind of like he's in the process and he continues that journey. So because it just sticks with him for the rest of his life. Like I'm a felon now because I tried to commit this crime because I was bonkers out of my head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get, Lena?
Well, I started with the death and the devil card, and I thought, oh, but I think that's where he was at. That's who he was mixing with. That's what influenced him. That's what set him on that path. But I'd go as far as to say, yes, because there's also world card realising, long-term, everything. I think he could, even as part of a plea deal or something, agree to speak as a de-radicalising agent, you know, with the speaker. I think he would go that far willingly at 25. And I think he's quite a smart guy. And I think he could actually, there's a Queen of Pentacles here. I think his mum might have had a word in his little criminal ear, and or some other woman has been of significant influence on this decision. But I think that's the interesting card to me, that he will speak out for others, what motivated him and why he got out.
I agree. His thank you, passing show. His mother has taught him to put a lid on his emotions. I'm getting, she's definitely had an input, and I get a big yes on it with the Sun card that he'll change. He's got, you know, 4 walls to stare at and to ponder things, and think about, you know, everything that he's done. He's going to go through a transition and a healing, I get. So while he's making license plates.
License plates, absolutely.
Because he had options. He had choices. He made the wrong ones.
7 of Swords and the Moon. There is a new strategy, but there is no end in sight. You can't de-radicalize the whole thing. You can de-radicalize yourself, which is trying to do with the Temperance and the Justice. Both of these cards say balance. Both of these cards, well, Temperance is more moderation, but it's balance to your life. And this is a good thing. This is what the criminal justice system is for rehabilitating a person. You go out, you get caught up, you do something stupid. He is 25. Your brain is not fully developed till you're about 25, 30 anyway. So not to give him an excuse because what he did, but at least he is crossing the street to the other side, saying, you know what, that was dumb. But the Sun and the Death and the 5 of Pentacles, his old running buddies, which is a good thing as well. There's a change there. There's a huge change there. That relationship is over, and it should be, because if anybody, anywhere, at any time can convince you it's an okay thing to go kidnap somebody, those are not your friends. And so it ends in the 8 of Pentacles. That make like a license plate, but his day-to-day life is about to change. So yes, he will be radicalized, but the problem is there's still a whole bunch on the outside, not so much, but that's neither here nor there for him, though.
You know, what's interesting, though, Johnny, a lot of these capital insurrectionists, the ones that are getting the very light sentences for like misdemeanors or whatever, just fines, they do not see what what they did was wrong.
No. And
told us to. If Obama had told you go storm the Capitol, you would have cursed him out 30 ways to Sunday. You know, but the ones that are getting the light sentences, they see nothing wrong with what they did. And I'm wondering if the ones that get the book slammed at them for attacking police officers, killing people, stealing stuff out of, you know, if those people will have their minds change, like, oh, look at what I did, and now I'm paying the consequences. Like, I ruined my life. You know,
and their voice is important for the young ones coming through. You've got to at least have those who said, yeah, I got sucked in too, you know. That's an important experience for them to have. So he could have quite an important role down the track, you know.
Well, we'll go here. It's kind of depressing in a way, so we won't spend too much time on it, but we will touch on it at least. The Supreme Court has not upheld. What's the opposite? they have done away with the eviction moratorium, and so evictions are on the way.
Whoosh.
So, what's going to happen now? Are there going to be mass evictions, or is somebody? Because mind you, let me say this too. Here in Pennsylvania, your state can create its own eviction moratorium. The CARES Act sent out money already, and so here in Pennsylvania, we're in Pittsburgh because that's what the article said. There is some sort of agency, I forget the name of, that in order for you to file an eviction, you have first got to file for the grant. You have to file for the money. If you get denied for the money, then you can file an eviction. But there's money sitting there for you to get to use for yourself. That way that person's rent is covered by the government, basically. So you can't kick them out without trying to get your money from the government first, because they already shelled it out to these states. So you need to go and file whatever you need to file to get the money. And if you can't get it, then you can go through with an eviction. So your individual states apparently can create their own eviction moratorium. And
they can't double dip either. You can't take money from the government to cover the rent and then turn around and evict somebody that's not paying rent.
Well, yeah, these things sound good when you say them quickly, but you wonder about these.
Mm-hmm. Like, who's keeping up with that? Like,
yeah,
okay, you took money.
Yeah, and who's following up is, yeah. And also the slumlords like Jared Kushner, who owns, like, every time I read an article on what he owns, it's more and more and more and more apartments. And I read 15,000, then I read 25,000. Who can own 25,000 properties anyway?
And manage them.
So what was the question, Johnny?
Will there be mass evictions, or maybe a stop to that?
Yeah. Oh, that's a bit quirky. Will I go, Johnny?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is a mini read in two parts. The first part, in answer to the question, the evictions will go ahead. Look, people are hostage to the system. There's the Five of Swords, ruthlessness. You know, these are all awful cards, and heartbreak. And then there's a two, which is a new leader or spokesperson will come forward. And then there's the Fool, new beginnings. What I think all that is about is, yes, the evictions will start to happen and they'll be awful to watch and be around and be affected by and stuff, but it'll lead to housing affordability being a real issue that goes up the Biden agenda. Because everywhere, like Australia, UK, everywhere, you know, you can't afford to rent or buy. You know, the cost of housing is so crazy. And if you're somewhere, it takes often, you know, a half or 2/3 of your income to put a roof over your head. And the old rule of thumb for poverty was if you are spending more than 1/5 of your income on housing, you will be poor. That's just a given. And those days have long gone. You know, and as someone who rented for 30 years, the subject's really close to my heart. But I think I don't think it'll be a seamless transition. There'll be affordable housing for everyone in 2 years' time. No, but it'll be the beginning of a really big change about the government's role in housing. Okay.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you for joining us on the charity stream. We are up to 4651 over there too.
Oh, yay.
That is fantastic. A big round of applause.
So what y'all get? Did you go back up?
Yeah, go, Jenny. Jenny up there.
You know, it's weird. I get that there's something that's going to go on in government about money to help with this. So I'm not sure what that is. Maybe some new law to help with it. But I get, there's going to be a lot of evictions. It's heartbreak. I get my yes card on that. The realtors looking for all their steady money and stuff. But watch for something new to come up in the government, because I'm feeling like maybe starting in the House with Nancy Pelosi, something new coming up with money to help.
Mm-hmm. They have to step in somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I get a yes, but there's perhaps some options and choices for community projects that come out of this as well. So I don't know if it would be like local. I mean, it would have to be local governments, perhaps in counties or municipalities or whatever, because there's several projects here for a large, very large body of people. And this is also outdoors, so that people are not flooding the streets. I mean, go ahead and kick people out on the streets and see how quickly your streets are going to get crowded full of homeless people, and what an eyesore that's going to be. Not that you care about the person.
That's right.
You know, when it starts to hurt businesses because you have 80 families parked in front of a Walmart. You see what I'm saying? So
cities.
So it comes down to the cities and several projects, perhaps within cities or towns, to address the issue. So I don't know if they would come out of that money through like the city government, city board or whatever, but that's what I get.
Thank you, Jody Roberts. And commercial break. Y'all go to sacredinspirations.com. That's Jody's website. I highly recommend. I get the world and the judgment. Yes, there will be also, but to shine the good news, there is a fight for this, though. There is a fight going on. There's a conflict. There's politics. The Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Eight of Wands. So the evictions, yes, they are coming. I think you have October 31st, I think it said in the article, is a deadline for the homeowners or the renters to file for that money. So, I mean, if they just want to stall to kick people out, they can, but you can file for money and reprieve. But anyway, the Nine of Wands, it's not going to be as cut and dry. There is going to be some work that is put in. There is going to be some back and forth that is happening. So it's not, it's hard to put this positive spin on that. Yes, there are evictions, but somebody, somewhere, some way, somehow is going to try to, you know what, there's evictions. There's the Five of Pentacles, there's evictions. Because even if somebody comes to your aid, you're still out in the cold. So it's not going to put you back in your house. So it's a situation that gets worse, but there's a silver lining in everything. There are still people who are going to fight for this to be corrected. Whether or not it is in time for you is a whole nother thing. But again, let's move on.
Can I do another commercial break since we have more people in the chat now?
Can.
We did a fundraiser this afternoon for feedingamerica.org, and Linda G had joined us for that reading. It's over on my channel. The donation button is still open on it, so anybody that hasn't seen that video, if you want to go visit it later, you can still donate to feedingamerica.org. That's what Johnny was referring to, that we had raised over $4,600 already.
4651.
All right.
That's impressive.
Also, I want to say, there are some readers in the chat, and there are some readers probably watching later on. Don't get offended. Put your hand over your ears if you offend easily. But thank you to Lena Rodriguez Tarot Down Under as well for joining us. These are three of my favorite people in the world. So, like I said, don't get offended. That don't mean I don't like you. But from the conception of this channel, it has been Jen and Lena, and then we found Becca alongside the road somewhere. So
I was adopted like a stray cat.
We're like, come along for the ride.
But they do this with me every Sunday, and Lena joins us, and it is always a good time. So thank y'all. I just want to say,
it's been great.
I just want to say,
and keep an eye out because Lena and I are going to do a TikTok dancing in our leopard.
Go
the leopards
and the Cuban leopard. Okay.
Y'all must be psychic.
Speaking of psychic, well, maybe psycho. Mike Lindell. He's planning something. It has been moved from Cheeseburger Day to New Year's. And so that is Donald Trump's next reinstallment is supposed to be on New Year's. So what is this?
Sorry, I need a coffee. I'll be with you in a minute.
We'll be doing another New Year's Eve extravaganza to celebrate that he will not again be put in back to the White House.
I'm kind of mad though because Cheeseburger Day was like the ultimate self-trolling, dude. It was like
well, that International Kool-Aid Day,
National Kool-Aid Day, National Cheeseburger Day. They need a side dish. Maybe National French Fry Day will be the next one.
Mac and cheese, Johnny. Mac and cheese sounds so good.
National Mac. Look it up. Wait a minute. When is National Mac and Cheese Day? It's got to be a real thing. I know it is.
Because didn't I look up New Year's Day and it was just, your basic, like nothing special. Cheeseburger Day would have been.
National Mac and Cheese Day is July 14th, 10 days after July 4th. So.
We missed that deadline. Dang it.
There's another one coming. Mac and Cheese Day is July 14th. Donald Trump will be president. That's my prediction. So what is his next stunt? What is he going to do next? So his cyber symposium didn't quite go well.
He is opening a My Pillow store in Clinton, Ohio, and he's already getting trolled for it. Like they're trying to stop him from opening it there.
Oh, wow.
People are saying, like, no, let him spend all the money to open it and just let it go bankrupt,
Yeah, totally. My pillow.
They're telling you to get leopard underwear now, Johnny and Jen.
Actually, I looked it up. That is actually against the law for me to dance anywhere, period, no matter what I got on. So. That is actually against the law. Yeah, unless you got bail money, we ain't gonna be doing such a thing.
So the question is, what is Mike Lindell's next thing?
What's his next step? Hi, Gonga.
Doesn't this guy have like family to like have an intervention and be like, dude, what are you doing with your life, you crazy person? Like, does he have addictions again? Like it's just.
It's like Trump. If they're crazy too, they can't help you.
Well, that's true.
We go from blind leading the blind to crazy leading the crazy. I can't. What you get, Becca?
I get he's going to lose more friendships because his craziness just increases and he becomes more combative. If he does, by any chance, have addictions to anything, whether that's smoking here with clouds, it increases. Like he just keeps repeating the same stuff over and over and over and over again. He loses more friendships. He's out of friends, more losses. And then there's the arguing and the fighting. lots of arguing, lots and lots and lots of fighting, and the fighting elevates and changes. So I don't know if this is going to be in regards to just the lawsuits from Dominion, but maybe other stuff that comes up that he has to fight, because it shows an increase in fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What'd you get, Lena?
Well, yeah, this is the loss of money and other things. The Five of Pentacles here. This is karmic. You know, he can't get off the wheel now. He had an opportunity early on when it first blew up. You know, he could have walked away and go, you know what, I like being a millionaire, I'll just bow out. But no, he felt compelled to stay on it. He's now embattled with all these wands, dynamite sticks, as Johnny, as you would call them. And my personal favourite, how is he feeling now? You know, so this is it. And not a pillow to be seen.
It's a bed of nails.
With an anvil on his chest.
is that the? Oh no, it's the Four of Swords.
He's the Four of Swords. Normally
He
retreat.
mattress covers. He does make mattress covers. So
He makes mattress covers. Well, I think he's going to need a particularly thick one.
Wow.
So he's a spent force is what I get from it. You know, he's had his heyday. Now you're only left with sheer nuttiness. And I forgot the last one because I was so smitten with the Four of Swords. The Ace, the cutting through the crapola card, like I think people are going to actually, GOP people are going to actually try and stop him speaking, you know, because it's not good for all of them when he waddles out there with this rubbish. Yeah. Does he believe it? I think he probably does. I think he's one of those.
The bleach drinkers. G Tarot and spiritual laugh.
Oh, there was a comment here. What's happened to Mike Pence in everything? He's gone quiet. Have we got a minute? Oh, sorry, Jen. Go on.
let me tell you what I'm getting on the celebrity salesman guy here. It's like he's going to be looking to make a buck here, doing the carnival barking thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
have you already got my pillows and my mattress covers? Here, I got some license plates for you. I'll customize them any number you want on them.
Yeah.
This guy is just taking all his money into a dumpster, putting kerosene on it, and just lighting a match.
Yeah.
He's going
That's all
to
he's doing. Crazy.
And what about you, Johnny?
I mean, when talking about burning money, there is the Sun and the Five of Pentacles. So I mean, there's going to be a cry. There's the boy who cried wolf. There's going to be a cry out of bully and manipulation by city officials. That's what I think his next thing is going to be. Maybe they're trying to stop his store. Maybe they will stop his store. I don't know. But there's some sort of outcry about him being bullied by the city. So there you go. Now, that was actually one of our questions is what is Mike Pence's current projects? Because he's got a podcast, somebody told me. He's also trying to save the GOP. We covered that before. That ship is sailed and it's not coming back.
He has a podcast. Are people using that to help them fall asleep? Can you imagine that? His whole thing a podcast like that makes you go to sleep if you have sleeping problems.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the concept of the Mike Pence podcast.
Mike Ambient Pence.
Ambient? Did you just say that?
It's like his middle name's Ambient. Oh Lord! So what's his?
maybe he'll start pushing fly ointment to cure COVID.
Yeah. Well, you can imagine the promos for the podcast. Mike Tranquilizer Pence. Save money on Valium. Just listen to the podcast.
Safe enough even for your mothers to use.
Oh, look.
That'll make a lot of money.
Mike Pence. Yeah, I haven't thought about him for a while.
That's a good thing.
Mm.
Then again, it's like, when your kid's in the other room not making any noise, they're tearing up something. So
Yeah.
kind of the same. You don't see him, he's messing up something.
That's
Coloring on the wall and pouring bleach on.
so true.
Becca, what you get?
I get that he may have been. I got the mountain, the cross, the key, the book, and the man. I'm thinking. I don't know if this guy has a book deal. Maybe he's trying to get one, and he's experiencing some significant problems there. Because book sits next to him. So this could be a book that he's authored or a book that he wants to author. And perhaps maybe thinking about abandoning it because it's a very difficult road to go that way. So that's what I'm getting. Maybe something to do with the book. I don't know if he has one. Maybe he's working on a second, but.
Lena, what you get?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think any of this is his idea, particularly not the podcast. I think it's his two friends that are left in the world, and I don't even know who they are. I'm just being generous and assuming there's not only one. And they've,
one of them.
here you are, you're hiding, Mike, and you've got to be seen and be heard. Right, which is not natural for him under the best of circumstances, let alone when you've been threatened with a noose in your workplace, right? So it wasn't easy for him to get out. He's putting on a show. And again, these circus cards, you've got to love them. And the signs say, "It's alive, come inside." It's saying he's not dead yet. Wheel him out. He is alive. He's got a pulse. He's going to try and, this is the devil card, but he's such a goody two-shoes. Unlike most of these guys who are truly dreadful people, he's not dreadful. If boring was a crime, he'd be up for a life sentence, but it isn't. And so he's really struggling with trying to support the rotten residue of the GOP. He's departed from Trump in his head probably 3 years ago, but this is what's left of the GOP. He's trying to do his bit out of solidarity, but it doesn't work. The tower, this could be the radio tower where they're projecting the podcast from. Lightning strikes on the podcast. It's not going to work, and because he would have been better off. He was at that watershed moment, after January 6th. He could have been the voice of sanity, the voice of reason. He could have actually performed a function and almost pulled the majority of the country back together, but he chose not to. And so therefore, tower.
Yeah, I get he's looking to make money wherever he can because it's like it's coming in trickles. It's not the Ace of Pentacles anymore. I get he's moving on, kind of like he knows politically he's done. It's all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Nice little bow. Like, so he's turning into the businessman, trying to make some money here. I get he's very burdened by the losses. I think he's going to talk about why he has waited so long to comment on the insurrection and what happened after he had to run. He's going to talk about Biden and why he has kind of laid back even on anything that Biden has done. But he can't, he's just trying to make a pittance where he can. He wants to share illumination and stuff, but he can't make any money. Poor little guy might end up broke like Trump.
I get the Ace of Wands with the Nine of Wands. He's trying to stack something up. He's got a new action to, and he's trying to stack up maybe. Oh, Lord Jesus. He's trying to snack up. Well, maybe. There's some snakes. there are snakes on that plane, so he may be trying to stack up some supporters and some donors because he is probably trying to run for president too. But yeah, he's trying to. I keep trying to say stack some things up. The death and the page of wands. There's going to be a change to his messaging, so he's about to put out a new type of messaging, maybe President Pence type messaging instead of the old guy with the other guy type of thing. But yeah, that's what I get is he's going to start to change his messaging. So maybe he is trying to run for president. He's trying to stack up supporters and things of that nature. Now, if you're going to run for president, that means you need to start speaking out about your former boss. Or I guess you'll play both sides of the fence because that's what you do best. So I don't know. But shout out to the Fly. You are the real MVP because you recognized the pile of shit when you seen one. And,
a white moldy one. You have a cotton tip on his head.
I mean, because he flew around and there was tons of people in that place. He could have landed on anybody. He found the right one. And Kamala Harris, shame on you for sitting there looking at that man and not telling him you got a fly on your head. I know you've seen it. Everybody's seen it. He's got right there in a black fly. Everybody's seen it.
I think the fly got stuck on the hair gel, on the hairspray. He had it couldn't get off.
It's like his head was a Venus flytrap. I was just like,
I think that was just God playing humor like God does, I think. So thank you everybody for coming out. We're going to do our giveaway here in a minute, but let me give you these announcements. Thanks to Lena for joining us on this here Sunday. Thank you very, very much. Okay. Thank you, Linda, for joining us on the charity stream where we raised $4,600 whole dollars for the Feeding America, and that button, the donate button, will still be there for those who would like to donate later.
That's great.
Don't be an asshole.
Yes, there is no competition in charity, so please stop that. Don't be a jerk face. We will be on Jen's channel, I think, next week, something like that. But right now, in the chattatorials down here, a number 1 through 10, 1 through 100. The first person I see to get it, I will send this to you.
Good luck, everybody.
So put your number down in the thing.
Go.
Oh, get ready. It goes fast. There it is. There it is. Leash the Kraken. Somebody. There it is. Okay, I seen it. Gretchen. I'm not even going to try to say your last name because I don't want to mess that up. But Gretchen, let me see if I can find it in StreamYard, and then I can put you on the screen. That way StreamYard can read it to you. Where are you? I should have just copy paste. I don't think. There you go. Gretchen, you won. So send me your information at TarotsApprentice@gmail.com, and I will send this to you. So thank you again, Linda. There are two people. There's two different people.
Yeah.
Linda for joining us earlier, and Lena for joining us now. And we will see y'all next week on Jen Lynn's channel. Thank y'all for joining us. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the moderations you all did. And
yeah.
I'll see y'all later.
Hi, everybody.
See you guys.